I'm dead now, and I'm in heaven.
There were no survivors. In other news, this episode was longer, but the YouTube algorithm and copyright holders decided that too much of it was deemed not fair use enough. Some of the editing staff might disagree on how much effort they went to make it transformative and its own thing. I mean, it's a review, for God's sakes. But luckily, most of it is intact and very few jokes are ruined. Now, we bring you this episode of 10minutedailyvideos.net, the worst episode of Columbo, already in progress. Well, I don't know if that... was that even...
Everybody up here is happy. The animals, the dead soldiers, the people who went to the electric chair, and everything. Nobody's mad.
My ex-wife is back. Well, I know what you're thinking. When was the juice ever tied down? What kind of woman could ever keep him satisfied? Well...
Oh, my lord.
All my friends are dead and they don't like me anymore. They've moved along, they've changed, and now they find me quite a bore. Way back then it was okay to be a little weird, but all my friends are dead.
Oh, that coat.
The coat, that coat, that coat.
Oh, I'm sure that we can find something nicer for you in the other room. Something maybe a bit
Warmer?
Hello and welcome again to 10minutedailyvideo.net, your place for 10minutedailyvideo.net. And I'm your host, Mel Content. And we are going to do a review of the worst episode of Columbo ever, No Time to Die, Season 11, Episode 2. This episode is often called Columbo in name only. It's a shame. It's produced by Peter Falk. And you know what's the saddest part? This got really good ratings.
Go take a shower.
Oh.
Let me get out of this.
Oh.
This episode is boring. It's garbage. Even your most boring episode of Law and Order has more interesting things happening in it than this episode of Columbo. This episode of Columbo is off tradition.
What time is it?
I'm going to say you can go ahead and watch my review over watching this episode. There's very few times where I'm going to say my review is a replacement for watching an episode, but this will be that. Do not watch the episode No Time to Die, Season 11, Episode 2. I'll be repeating that a few times. This episode sucks.
At midnight?
Alone?
With a chickie.
And even when I rewatched it, I couldn't help but skip ahead because a lot of it is redundant. A lot of it is just weird, perverted victim fetishizing. Weird, like, male gaze, grossness, transphobia,
Let me try.
cross-dressing phobia. I don't know what you want to call it because it's barely either of those things. It's not even interesting in a way where like a bad episode of Criminal Minds. No one says unsub. Any I would say enjoy, but I mean, this is about mutual pain sharing, so enjoy the pain, I guess.
These moments are going to sell like hotcakes. Good for you.
So, okay, so this as a beginning for a Columbo isn't so bad. It's it's like a wedding or something. This is fine. You know, I've seen him start worse than this. And Columbo's just here. Columbo's in this episode 2 minutes into the episode. So, this is the first break with tradition. This episode's going to break with tradition a lot, but this is the first break with tradition. And this one's like, it's like subtle, but it's really like, this one is a really hard one to break. And you can break it well. Like there's that episode on the cruise ship where Columbo's in it early on, but he's just established he's there. And there's more, like, there's like more, they have to like bend backwards to make it make any sense why Columbo is there in the first place. This episode, police procedural be damned, right? Columbo's just here, and it's his nephew.
I'd like you to meet Lieutenant Columbo, the groom's uncle.
What? I mean, we've heard of his nephews before, but they were all, like, every family member of Columbo's, including his wife, is like an off-screen bit, including his wife in this episode. Did I meet her? No, ma'am. She's not here. She had to go to Chicago to look after her mother. She fell and broke her hip. Your wife? No, ma'am. Her mother. Oh, poor thing. She was having fun at the time, ma'am. Learning how to skateboard. Oh, honey. She was skateboarding? Peter Falk?
She was having fun at the time, ma'am.
Your wife's mother's was your wife's Peter Falk, your wife's mother hurt herself skateboarding. This is what you want to go with.
Learning how to skateboard.
Okay, what'd I say? How long are we? We're 2 minutes in. We're 2 minutes in. Oh!
No, ma'am, she's not here. She had to go to Chicago to look after her mother.
Ah!
She fell and broke her hip.
Your wife?
Okay. Let's sally forth. Yeah, just a lot of people talking, telling us stuff. Just a lot of, and you know, it seems like we're setting up some suspects for potential murder. I'm torn on shitting on this episode because Peter Falk basically financed it and was in charge of it ultimately.
Get a lot of Fred Astaire.
But it's so weird to frame Columbo through essentially the male gaze. I know what you're thinking. Columbo isn't a lady in a sexy outfit and the camera isn't like lovingly lingering on her hips or breasts. But the male gaze does crop its head up in other forms, which is to show another male's lack of masculinity or foolishness. Do you see what I mean? Basically, we're seeing it from these guys' perspective, and we're supposed to think, isn't Columbo ridiculous and emasculated?
Mrs. Columbo taught me.
I mean, that might be overthinking it, but I'm 5 minutes in, and we're this deep into this premise already. I might as well, right? The male gaze, it's not just for sexism anymore. It's also for emasculation. Okay, so far all we've been getting is like potential suspects because this is not a Columbo episode, but it is in fact a standard procedural. And in a standard procedural, we need a bunch of targets who could be the suspect. Savvy Columbo fans will know that this episode, none of these alibis or like none of these like red herrings pander out to anything. All of these red herrings end up being nothing burgers, which is wild because they waste so much time on all of them. But the actual kidnapper is never established in that wedding or reception. That is crazy. He should have been one of the people that interacted with her in some way. They tell us about halfway through the episode anyway, or like 3/4 of the way through anyway.
Yes, perhaps you'll be nicer to me then.
So it's like, why not tell us at the beginning? It's like they're trying not to be an episode of Columbo. It's insane. What were they thinking?
Gosh, you're beautiful.
Why does this feel so strange?
It's the stilted dialogue that makes it feel strange. That's, oh my God, gross. Ew. Why? Oh my God, we get it. You're gonna bang that model. We get it. I hate the 90s. Oh, that's probably gonna be a clue later. What do you want to bet? That mirror gag, that little face, is the closest we're gonna get to a joke for a long time. I think until like Columbo asks for some pencils.
Be my guest.
The hilarious Columbo asks for some pencils and the guy gets mad about it joke. Very funny.
Melissa's dad, Mr. Hayes, nailed me for some advice on where to open one of his malls. Tonight. What's the matter? Did you hear anything?
I was in the shower, enjoying myself singing. What could I hear?
What's weird about this is Andy is supposed to be another cop, but he immediately acts like this bizarre, like he's a suspect. Like he's acting like really petulant. Like there's all of these weird clips where he's just like a child.
I just felt foolish for some reason.
Someone listening outside the door might have heard her say that.
Say what?
Take a shower. If he heard it, he'd know you were in there.
I don't quite understand I don't get that. That's a weird take. And then Columbo pockets the shoe like he's hiding it from Andy. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't think cops should be investigating their own crimes, like crimes involving them, obviously. But this whole episode doesn't make sense. Columbo he's like a homicide detective. He's not. You know what? Before we go any further, if this is going to be like a traditional thing, we should do something traditional here. Hang on.
You got a cigarette?
I thought you gave him one.
I did.
Got these.
Thanks.
They can't even get the right color cigar right. Columbo smokes weird, cheap green cigars. And here he is, brown little Swisher Sweets.
Ask him to lay on the phone tap. I'll clear it with the hotel. You guys go over everything you know. I'm going to take a look outside that fire escape.
This is like Law and Order the entire show. I've skipped it. I don't think I need any clips from it. This is like one of the worst scenes in the entire fucking history of Columbo. I just don't think Peter Falk is like this type of detective where he just shakes down a working man in the middle of his day to find out what he was doing, to find this weird kidnapping serial killer guy, whatever the fuck. He's not even a serial killer. I don't even know what this guy is. At any rate, all of this is just to say there is a van involved. This plot point sucks. It goes on forever, and they come back to it later. It's crap, but I'm skipping it for now. Okay, that was a more traditional male gaze. They lingering on the... This is awful, by the way. I hate this. This lady exists and is punished, as far as I can tell, strictly because she's related to Columbo, and it would be interesting for Columbo to find a kidnapper. There's no meaning or metaphor here to this episode. This episode stinks out loud. I hate this episode. I hate it. I'm hopping mad.
Her dad's got plenty, right? He told me he owns 8 shopping malls.
Yeah, and about half the other real estate in Seattle.
There was an article on him in the L.A. Times.
When are we going to tell him what happened?
But there's no point in opening that can of peas just yet, and his wife's none too well. Leave him in peace until there's no choice. If it's ransom, we'll hear soon enough. If it's something else, let's work on it. Any notes, threatening letters?
Fingerprints.
Hi, Joe. Glad it's you. We're kind of in a real hurry here. All I need is the door. Forget the handles. We all touch them plenty. Somebody carried somebody out this way. They might have put out a hand for support. Now, when you're done here, do the same thing to the fire escape down the corridor to the left. Door, walls, the works, okay?
You got it, Lieutenant.
And Joe, ask the boys at the lab to put a rush on it for me, will you?
That's convenient. It's convenient that we get a rush for these privileged individuals. I'd like to remind people that what's good about Columbo is that he takes the privilege to task, not takes advantage of his privilege. This privilege being that he's an authority figure as a cop. Again, homicide cop, but for some reason, I mean, don't get me wrong, I get it. Columbo is a great cop otherwise and is owed a bunch of favors, but it's just out of character for Columbo to even consider this, even for a family member.
We're gonna need photos of everybody to match faces with names until everybody at the wedding is accounted for.
Okay, this is more of this victim shit. I will slow it down when we get to the transphobia, I promise. But right now it's just, oh, so scary. Oh, what's he gonna do? He's gonna hurt her. Oh no. Oh, he's cutting her loose. Oh no. So scary. We gotta get to some, like, casual racism, okay?
You will leave here a new man. Your past was fired away.
Cut the crap. If it weren't for the fact this dump keeps a bunch of weirdos off the street, we'd have it shut down in 5 minutes. Tubby Comfort here tonight.
Tubby Comfort?
Tubby Comfort here tonight.
Also, yeah, I know. That's Bulldog from Frasier. I know. It's been bugging me this whole time too. He's awful in this. This is like, I'm glad he took this persona of his and made it into a more interesting character. Boy, he is dog shit in this episode. I'm glad, I mean, I don't know if he gets typecast as a cop a lot, but he is a fucking awful cop.
Right on Wilshire, left on Sunset, right on Laurel. This guy's in the hills.
It seems a little dangerous, Columbo. Come on. Wow. Holy crap. This guy's in the hills. Talk about distracted driving. Am I right? One of the few times we get to see the traditional car.
Tubby, where the hell are you?
I never forget a face and I never forget a voice. Do I have the pleasure of welcoming Sergeant Goodman? And the ride a few degrees and you will discover the fount of all knowledge.
You couldn't see that guy that was right there?
Melts the fat.
Cut the fat jokes, Tub.
Yeah, stop the fat jokes, Tub. Quit blaming fictional characters for the bad writing.
$100 of the taxpayers' money on account to cover the phone bills for my secret numbers. 200 more. And I make your dream come true.
So another thing that this episode is lacking, and you'll see this in all the reviews, is Columbo doesn't really have an adversary because they're trying to find this weirdo the whole time. So they do kind of this faux adversarial stuff where he's just kind of annoying to people because it's the middle of the night.
Can't you tell me something else?
I can say that it's serious.
Oh, I like the guy. Dotes on Melissa. Wanted her to be a doctor before the fame happened. Well, what can I do?
I want copies of all the photos that you took at the wedding. Eliminate everyone who can be recognized. I hope you'll help me with that. All unknowns will be considered suspects.
I mean, stranger danger, for one. For two, this feels contrived anyway. Because again, the photographer, I think, was supposed to be a red herring. Almost everybody's a red herring to some degree. Now, but they've already shown the serial killer back here someplace. But this goes on for way too long, and then we get more victim nonsense.
That's better. Let's converse. We'll be civilized.
See, this goes on forever. Forever this goes on. He hits her or something, I don't know.
One more thing.
What's that?
What? Why did he do that annoyed face? Again, you see what I'm saying? Like, the reason Columbo says one more thing is he's mostly toying with his adversary. But he's one more thinging a guy helping him. I don't quite understand this bit. It just feels like it falls really flat, and it's going to get worse because I want to say, if it's not this shot, but there's a coming up shot where they're not taking into consideration Peter Falk's glass eye at all.
Friends, husband and wives, other couples. These are wonderful for marking photographs, sir. Would it be all right if I borrowed one to take with me?
You know what, Lieutenant? Be my guest.
Yeah, I don't. Do you see what I mean? Like, what? Why is it being adversarial there? I mean, it is. It's like it's this weird bit where it's like, boy, he's annoying, but you're like, obviously he's gonna take it to other people who could look at the photo. Whatever. I've been yada-yadaing through this, but I don't think they played This Old Man either. And this is well into the era where they've been playing This Old Man traditionally. Unless some of these long concertos are This Old Man really drawn out. Woof. Okay, how long does this scene go on for? Okay, talk.
One man, one woman.
That's 4 men, 3 women. Unidentified. I don't have any of those. I have 5 singles. We've covered everybody, right? Cops, other friends of Andy's. With the help of Varick, we've accounted for Melissa's friends, magazine people, models, designers, editors, makeup and hair people, everybody she invited. And with the help of Mr. Hayes, we've accounted for family and friends. Husband and wives, other couples. What are we left with?
That's another shot where they're not really accounting for his glass eye. For some reason, Peter Falk seems really interested in looking around with his eye before his head.
How many's that all together?
That's 15. 1 plus 5 plus 3 plus 6. That's 15. Yeah, 15.
We have 15 known singles.
This is drawn out as... This is incredibly drawn out. Oh my god. Okay, this goes on forever. Okay, wait. Where? What's next? Okay, wait. This guy? Is this a new thing?
It did say that she was spaced out, like she was on something.
Well, 3 guys could do it. I sure appreciate it if you could spare them.
I should have been told about this earlier.
I didn't want to bother you till we had something positive.
Is there anything else I should know?
Jack said that he saw a nasty weapon.
Oh my fucking god. Okay, and then that's more victim shit. Right? Yeah, more victim shit. Okay, here we go. Car driver. Gee, I hope I don't get copyright claimed for that little ditty.
Freeze! Police! Where's my wife?
Get to you, pig.
Talk! You're dead meat! Where is she? Hold it, Andy!
Alright, this is one of the many, many red herrings. Okay, and then she's a victim. She's trying to use oil. She's talking to herself. It sucks. It goes on forever.
The oil.
Yep. Keeps on going with the oil.
Sitting alone.
Sir!
Miss Eileen Hacker. Forgive me, ma'am, for arriving unannounced. Alec told me about you. He said you were the best. Boy, look at this layout. I'm the phone's uncle, ma'am. And I can tell you that Melissa, she's gonna go to the moon when she sees what you're doing for her. Good morning, Alex. How are you after our night together?
Alex, you know this bundle of fun?
This is like awful. Does Peter Falk understand what makes Columbo appealing in any way? Alright, so this goes on forever, and then we get more oil. Okay, more oil. This is apparently taking hours. Don't understand how. Okay, more very intense running. Okay, look, more oil. More oil. Oh my gosh, so exciting. Okay, she gets the door open, and look, oh, more doors.
And as a special treat, you'll have the pleasure of watching me change my clothes.
Oh, he's creepy and scary. Wow. Also, all of this, like all of this over here, all of this stuff, all this victim stuff, it doesn't even matter. He shows up and catches her in 2 seconds. Oh my god. All right, and then we get this old guy. Columbo's very insistent on talking to this old guy about these cars.
And now the lipstick.
Okay, here we go. Here we go. The cross-dressing scare.
This is one of my favorites. Let me try.
That's scary because a man's not supposed to put on makeup like a girl. Scary. Ah, Christ. This is the 90s, by the way.
Young, da-da.
Cut to sirens. Cut to I'm gonna cut you. Cut to scary photos. Cut to Columbo running around with a gun. Gross! Ah! Roar! Roar! Worth it. So fucking worth it. Worst episode of Columbo ever. Holy Christ. Look at him with that stupid fucking gun. So stupid.
What time is it?
Is that supposed to be a fucking joke? I mean, what in the hell? What were they thinking? What were they thinking? Single-handedly the worst episode of Columbo ever. It's madness that they put this out, and it's madness that Columbo, or what's crazy is this is like Peter Falk like signed off on this. Crazy. Thanks for watching. This is another episode of 10minutedailyvideos.net, your place for 10minutedailyvideos.net. You are free to skip Columbo Season 11, Episode 2, No Time to Die. I've just told you what happens in it. None of it matters. None of these people ever show up again. Like, if this was supposed to be some kind of weird spinoff, it was never going to work. These guys are so boring. I hate all of these characters. And Peter Falk is not even playing Columbo. He's playing, like, weird detective guy. Whatever. Okay, super duper, thanks for watching. If you want to join the Patreon, the link's in the description. There are producer benefits at different dollar levels. There's a tip jar. If you like what you watch and you want to fund this in any way, that'd be great. Mega producers get like a PFP drawing. Okay. Like, how many times do these guys need to say 15? Like, they say 15 so many, like, it's like, it's madness. How many times do they need to say 15?
That's 15. That's 15.
Yeah, 15.
We have 15.
How many times? Huh? How many times? Huh? How many times? I like the new set. It's easier to probably leave this for for a little bit. Do you like the set? This is pretty good. I got let me look. Let me just go out here. What do you think? It's pretty good, right? Stuff over here. Pussy!